I'm Kalpana. In this session, I'll be discussing about big data. The term big data was coined by Roger Margolis in 2005. Big data is information, lots and lots of information. Next, I will discuss about data. Data has become essential part of human evolution for 1000 years. Today, due to advanced technology, machines are capable of acquiring and processing huge sets of data. 7,000 years ago, Mesopotamia used data to track and control business. Isn't it interesting? So what is data? Data is collection of information and facts. In simple words, we can say facts and figures that are stored in digital format can be termed as data. Example of data: text, numbers, audio, video, image that are stored in our phones and computers can be called as data. Why data is important? Data collection is important because it provides answers to the problems. Also, by analyzing the data, it provides new insights. Do you know? Data is plural form. Singular form of data is datum. Before getting into the concept, I will tell you what is big data. Big data refers to huge volume of data. While we go through this image, we could see various social media applications like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. As we all know, we are using more than one applications in our day-to-day life. Do you know how many users are visiting Facebook daily? Around 1.6 billion users are visiting Facebook daily. Just imagine the data generated by these users. Such huge amount of data can be called as big data. Let's move forward and have a look in the agenda. This is what I'm going to discuss. Story of big data. Here I will discuss about evolution of big data. Next, big data driving factors, like how data are generated from various sources. Next, what is big data? I will define what data can be considered as big data. Next, big data characteristics. Here, I'll be focusing the important factors of big data. Next comes types of big data. I will explain different formats of big data. Next, use cases. Here, I will discuss about real use cases of big data and also some of the applications of big data in real world. Next topic, big data tools. In this, we will try to understand how to overcome the challenges faced by big data using big data tools. Finally, I will conclude with where big data headed in the future. Next, we will try to understand more about big data. Big data refers to a huge volume of data that cannot be stored and processed by traditional system in a given time frame. Now the question arises, like how huge the data needs to be and what data could be considered as big data. There is lot of misconception surrounding us, like what data can be termed as big data. Usually, the data which is either in gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes or anything larger than this size can be considered as big data. This is where misconception arises. Depending on the context, even a small amount of data can be referred as big data. To make it clear, I will take few examples and explain it to you. First, I will take email as an example. Traditionally, we are using postal services for sending message from one person to another person. Similarly, in modern era, we are using electronic mail, that is email. Let us take Gmail as an example. Assume that I wanted to send 100 MB of data file to one of my friend through Gmail. Do you think that Gmail will be able to send 100 MB of data file? No, definitely not. Because through Gmail we can send only 25 MB of data. From this example, what we can understand is Gmail is not able to send 100 MB of data file. So that 100 MB of data file can be termed as big data. Let me take another example and explain so that you get better understanding of the term big data. Let us say that I have around 10 TB of image files upon which certain processing need to be done. For instance, I'm going to use my desktop computer to resize and enhance this image within a given time frame. Do you think my desktop computer will be able to complete the task within a given time frame? No, because my desktop computer requires huge server with high-end resources to complete this task on time. So what we can understand from the example is desktop computer is not able to process 10 TB of file. So that 10 TB of file considered as big data. I hope now it's clear like what I mean by big data. Next is story of big data. In this we will discuss how big data started to evolve with an example. In ancient days, people used to travel from one village to another village on a horse-driven cart. But as time passed, villages became towns and people also started to spread out. Due to this, the distance to travel from one town to another town also increased. So it became a problem to travel between towns along with luggage. Now, how to solve this problem? Out of blue, one smart fellow suggested that we need to groom and feed a horse more to solve this problem. When we look into the solution, it was not that bad. But do you think a horse can become an elephant? I don't think so. Perhaps it's not going to work out. Another smart guy said instead of using one horse, we can use 4 horses to pull the same cart. What do you think about this solution? I think it is fantastic solution. Now people can travel large distance in less time. Also, they can carry more luggage. Same concept applies on big data. Till 2 decades, we were able to store data in our traditional system because the data was pretty limited and the amount of time taken to process data also okay. But now in the current technological world, data is growing too fast. So it becomes impossible to store data into any server. Let us move forward and focus more about evolution of big data. The quantity of data on planet Earth is growing exponentially. Data are generated by various sources and our day-to-day activities also generates data. What is the reason for generating such a huge amount of data? With the invent of web, whole world started using online. Social media is one of the important factor for generating data. If we go through the image, we can find various devices like smartphone, smart AC, Wi-Fi, smart car, banking institution, medical records, e-commerce, etc. generates copious amount of data. All the informations amount to around some quintillion bytes of data. It is predicted that by 2020, the volume of data generated will be around 40 zettabytes. In the chart, we can see that 50 billions of IoT devices will be coming up by end of 2020. Next, we'll see how data are generated from various sources. Different sources are machine generated data, human generated data, and business generated data. So what is machine generated data? Machine generates data by using software programs and hardware devices. Hardware devices like computer, sensors, satellite, audio, video streaming, mobile applications generates data. Let me give an example for hardware machine generated data. Let's take smart car. A IoT sensor device is attached to smart car. This device for every minute collects the details like the distance of the obstacles, size of the obstacles and many more. Then the device, based on the collected information, decides like how to react, when to stop, when to turn right, when to turn left, etc. Just imagine how much data the device is generating for each kilometer it drives. From above example, we can understand how machine generates data. Next we'll see human generated data. It can be described like the file we generate in our computer and share every day. This data is generated when human interacts with system. We can take smartphone as an example. Smartphone has made our life smarter. So how smartphone generates data? Whatever action we do with smartphone, it generates data. In smartphone, we have various applications like phone call, text message, video, audio, searches, photo, etc. When we try to use any of this application, it generates data. A single smartphone user generates 40 exabytes of data every month. Just calculate 40 exabytes into 50 billion of smartphone users daily. It is too much for our mind to calculate, isn't it? From example, we can understand how data are generated by humans interacting with machine. Next, we will move on to the main concept, what is big data. Here, we will see proper definition of big data. Big data is a term used for a collection of data sets that are large and complex, which is difficult to store and process by using traditional system. First, let us understand about traditional system. Data generated from organization, banking institutions, stock markets, and hospital records are given as input to the ETL system. So what ETL do? ETL translates this data, that is, it extracts the data and transforms this data into proper format and finally load it in the database. Now end users can acquire the data and perform analytics. What is the problem and why it is not able to process huge data? The real problem is there is too much data to process. When traditional systems were invented, they did not anticipate to deal with such enormous of data. Next, we will see the terms used in big data for measuring data. Kilobyte are referred to the data generated by personal computer. Megabyte of data is equal to 8 bags of rice. Gigabyte of data is equal to 3 semi-trucks. These are data generated by desktop. Next, terabyte of data is equal to 2 container of ships. Petabyte of data is blankets of Manhattan, which data are generated by internet. Next is exabytes of data can be compared with blankets of West Coast states. Zettabyte of data fills the Pacific Ocean. These data are generated by various sources like Facebook, Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, Google, etc. Finally, yottabyte of data refers to Earth-size rice ball, that is, future generated data. The question is how to consider some data as big data. or how to classify some data as big data. There are 5 important factors of big data, that is 5 V's. If the data fall in any one of this category, we can term that data as big data. The 5 V's are volume, velocity, variety, veracity, and value. First V is volume. Volume refers to the amount of data which is growing day by day in a rapid pace. The data generated by humans, machines, social media is massive. Researchers predicted that by 2020, 40 zettabytes of data will be generated, which is equal to 40 trillion gigabytes of data. 2 decades ago, computer had only about 10 GB of memory. But today, social media platforms such as Facebook is taking half a billion of terabytes of data in daily basis. Now, if we see the statistics, we can see how the volume is rising exponentially. Next V is velocity. It defines the pace at which different sources generate the data every day. Example, a single click in Facebook captures users' behavior at millions of events each second. We can see some more examples like how data is generated every 60 seconds at fast speed. For every 60 seconds, 350,000 Twitters tweet, 300 hours of videos are uploaded in the YouTube, 171 million emails are sent, and jet engine creates 330 gigabytes of data every single minute. This is how data are generated at fast speed. If we are able to handle the velocity, we can generate insights of data and take business decisions. Next comes variety. Data generated by various sources are of different types. It can be structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. Previously, we get data from Excel and database. Now, data are coming in form of image, audio, video, sensor data, etc. Do this create problem? The variety of unstructured data definitely creates problem in capturing, storing, cleaning, and analyzing the data. If we try to solve the issue, we can gain business value. Next comes veracity. It refers to how accurate the data in the dataset. We are discussing about different ways generating data. Let us see how we can derive accurate data. When we have such a huge amount of data package bound to lose during the process. Hence, we have to fill up the missing data, mine it again in order to get good insight of the data. In the image below, we can see few values are missing in the table. Also, few values are hard to accept. For example, 15,000 minimum value in the third row, it is hard to accept. This type of inconsistency and incompleteness can be termed as veracity. Finally, the next way is value. We can see how to extract useful information from huge amount of data. After discussing volume, velocity, variety, veracity, there is another way we should take into account. We should understand not all collected data can be used to make business decisions. First, we have to clean, that is, we have to mine the data, do some analysis, and then confirm that the data is relevant for current purpose. Finally, we can conclude the analyzed data as some value. Next topic, we will discuss about 3 different types of big data, namely structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. First, we'll see structured data. In structured data, we have proper schema, that it is in proper format. It is categorized as quantitative data, and it is type of data most of us are used to working with. Structured data is fixed format and it is numeric in nature. Most of the time, it is handled by machines and not humans. Example of structured data are relational database and spreadsheets, which consists name, last name, address, phone number, etc. Machine learning was initialized to process structured data. Unstructured data. Unstructured data is often categorized as qualitative data, and this cannot be processed and analyzed using conventional tools and methods. Example, text, video, audio, mobile activity, etc. are unstructured data. Deep learning was initialized to process unstructured data. Next one is semi-structured data. It does not have proper schema. It consists both the forms of data like structured and unstructured data. Example, XML data, sensor data, JSON data, etc. Due to textual nature, it also contains some level of structure in it, and it is easy to process than unstructured data. Machine learning was initialized to process semi-structured data. Next topic is big data real use cases. Let us discuss and find out what outstanding opportunities big data provides to education sector. It is not only kindling academic skills but also interpersonal skills. Let us understand what exactly can be done using big data. We can evaluate performance of teachers as well as students. Some of the top universities use big data tool to renovate their academic curriculum. Even universities can track the dropout rates of the students. After getting better insight from the data, university takes required measures to reduce the dropout rates as much as possible. Let's take example of Georgia State University. Georgia State University is the leader of university with highest graduation rate in US. It was always ranked on the top. Now we have to think why it is always on the top list. Of course, it is because of big data and analytics. They realized the importance of the huge data of their students. What did they do to be on the top of the list? They analyzed every small detail of their students and got insights of the data. From analysis, they framed similar patterns among the students who dropped out in the early stage of graduation. They are serving students better than anyone else. What we understand is that how big data is helping to analyze and take better decisions. We'll take another example, Netflix. Netflix is one of the popular social media applications for watching movies, TV shows, etc. During the COVID lockdown, almost all of us started watching Netflix. Now let us see how Netflix are able to be successful in the market. Netflix collects user behavior data from 100 millions of customers. This helps Netflix to understand what exactly customer wants to see. Based on the analysis, it recommends movies and shows. Big data analysis plays important role. Netflix customers are happy because they are able to watch without searching. And Netflix is also happy that results higher customer in retention. Next we'll see some of the big data application in the real world. First we will see how big data is helping in education sector. With big data, it is possible to monitor student actions to improve student results and help to reduce dropout rates. How it helps in banking sector? It helps in detecting illegal activities such as misuse of debit card, credit card. Next we'll see how big data is helpful in healthcare. It helps to predict the disease. Adoption of big data technologies helps in accessing large amount of data to evaluate drug and treatment. Next we'll see some of the challenges faced by big data. First challenge, handling large amount of data. Copious amount of data are generated from different sources and it is doubling every 2 years. Obvious challenge is storing and analyzing all the information. Second challenge, real time can be complex. Lots of data keeps updating every second and organization need to be aware of it. Third challenge, data security. A lot of organizations claim that they face trouble with data security because data made available from wide range of sources, some which cannot be trusted to be secure. To overcome big data challenges, we can use big data tool. Hadoop is one of the important tools to overcome challenges faced by big data. Hadoop is open source Java-based programming framework. Next, different big data tools. These tools are more important for big data. I'm going to say few words for some of them. One of the most established tools for analyzing big data is Apache Hadoop. It is an open source framework for storing and processing large sets of data. Another one getting more and more attention is Apache Spark. It can store a high part of processing data in the memory and on the disk, which is much faster. Spark can work with Hadoop, Apache Cassandra, OpenStack Swift, and lot others are used for storing solution. Apache Kafka, which allows to publish and subscribe to real-time data feeds. To summarize, data are collected from various sources and analyzed in order to get insight of the data to provide solution or take decision for a problem. Finally, where is big data headed in the future? Big data is changing the game in many fields and it continues to grow. Once all of us start using the internet, the possibilities of using big data will be enormous. The amount of data available is going to increase. Also, analyzing data will become more advanced. Undoubtedly, big data is one of the things that is going to shape the future humanity. Let me conclude my session with Pat Gelsinger quote. Data is the new science. Big data holds the answer. Thank you.